Today we are doing a heating element replacement on this Masterbuilt Sportsman Elite offset pellet smoker. 6 months ago on this channel I did a full deep dive disassembly of this unit. Thus, if you're seeking information about the internals, the auger, the transport, the wiring, the fans, the heating element, just everything. I had it all apart, and if you're seeking that level of granularity, then I suggest checking out that video. It's a little long-winded, but the detail is there that you might be seeking. This video, however, is just to replace the heating element, or what is also known as the hot rod. This is a very common part across all brands of offset pellet smokers, and it's only been in the unit for 6 months. So the question I have is, did I purchase the wrong one? And when I say that, I mean, did I purchase the wrong Chinese knockoff, or what have you? Now, when I looked at these online, I kind of went in the middle of the price spectrum. Didn't buy the cheapest one, didn't buy the most expensive one, and they're all made in China. So the question is, did I just get a one that wasn't well made, or is it just, who knows? I'll never know the answer to that question. Completely rhetorical. But today we're going to go ahead and move ahead with this project. I already removed the grease tray as well as the heat shield, so this is fully exposed now. So what I did back during the disassembly of this unit was to change the wiring so that I didn't have to snake the wiring and the heating element, the new heating element, through 3 separate chambers. So you have this transport unit here with the crucible on the left. You have the hopper on the right here, and there's wiring and fans down in the bottom of this. And then up top here, that's the control panel. So you got 3 separate compartments. And the way that it was wired from the factory, you could not change the heating element without having to take all of that apart. So what I did was I jumpered the wires from the control panel down into the bottom of the hopper compartment. Again, there's wiring and fans in that compartment, and I only have to go from the transport into this compartment and plug in the new heating element, and I'm good to go. I don't have to take this apart up top. I don't have to have all of this, disassembled, which is more or less what I did back in the winter. We're now into summer, and it's beautiful outside. A little hum of cicadas in the background as they're starting to come in. But nevertheless, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to see if my work back in the winter paid off. It should, and it should make this job a lot easier. Okay, it's time to begin disassembly so that we can get the new heating element installed. And at minimum, you're going to need the following tools: a 1/4-inch nut driver, a Phillips head screwdriver. If you prefer to use a ratchet with a 1/4-inch socket, you can do that. And then you may, if you're doing this for the first time, need a pair of wire cutters, because you will encounter zip ties where the manufacturer has bound all of the wires together inside, underneath the hopper and auger compartment. I won't need to do that because they're already removed. I did replace a couple of them, but again, I modified the wiring on this unit, so I don't have to go all the way up into the control panel with the new wire lead for the heating element. So moving on here, to remove the crucible, you're going to move it to the left, and then you're going to lift it, and as you lift it, you're going to twist, turn, and raise. It's fighting me a little bit here, but there, got it out. Flip it over, and you will find that there is a single Phillips head screw on the bottom. That's the retaining screw for the heating element. Loosen that, pull the heating element out, and set the crucible off to the side for now. Now, as far as the wiring, which goes back through the transport here, the wiring is going to go into the compartment that's underneath the auger and the hopper. So you can see I already removed the cover underneath, which is held in place with 4 Phillips head screws, And that's as far as I'll need to go. I will not need to go up into the control panel because, again, I modified this unit so I don't have to do that. This is the new heating element, and I don't know if this is better or worse than the last one I had. It does have the name Gas Pro on it. I don't know if that's a fictitious name or if that's a branded product, but nevertheless, this is a different one, and hopefully it will last longer than the one that is currently in the unit. Moving on to the next step. Okay, we have swapped out the heating element and reinstalled the crucible. It's all secure, everything looks good there. And down here on the ground, we have the original, or I shouldn't say the original, this was the heating element that was replaced 6 months ago. By my way of thinking, this should have lasted much longer because it is a something we use once to twice a week. I know this is not a commercial unit, but this heating element should have lasted longer. The original one was, I think it was 18 months plus, maybe close to 2 years before I had to replace it. And again, I'm not sure if I just bought the wrong one or the cheapest of the cheap. Who knows? Really, I just no clue. But let's talk about the wiring and what I did to make this job easier. As you can see, this red to white connector. The red goes up to the control panel. The white goes out to the heating element. And that is the, this is the mod that I did to make this much easier when it comes time to swap out a heating element. I don't have to go up into the control panel, and I don't have to mess with, there's a lot of wires and wiring that goes into the control panel, so you don't have to mess around with that. You snake it through into this bottom compartment, you plug it in, and you are good to go. And that's really where we're at now. We're going to put this cover back on the bottom of this, the hopper auger, and we're off to the races. I'll put the grease pan and the heating element, or the heat shield back in the unit, and we are good to go. So that's it. Hope this helps.